Hi everyone, I'm Dara Khosrowshahi. I am the CEO of Uber, and it is awesome to be with you all today for a third and only on Uber event. This is one of my favorite events of the year because it is our chance to share some really exciting updates with you right here in person. So before I dive in, I do want you to know that we are not just here to present, we're also here to listen. So if you've got questions, ideas, or if you just want to chat with someone, we got team members all around the room here. These are the Uber corporate offices here in DC. So come say hi, don't be shy. We absolutely know that your feedback is invaluable for us and that we as a company cannot succeed unless you succeed. So that's why our goal is to make your everyday experience safer, fair, and of course, a little bit easier. So today what you're going to see is the first redesign of the driver app since 2018. It's been a long time. And you've also seen that we've made some technology upgrades designed to keep you safe on the road and to give you more ways to feel like you can have your voice heard on our platform. And we're rolling out a new feature that makes it much more clear as to where every single dollar from a rider goes, something that a lot of you have asked about. We know how hard you work. Riders, they can pop in and out of the app on a daily basis, but you are the ones who are spending hours either every day or every week making money for yourself or your loved ones. And whether it's business rides or Uber Green or grocery, we as a company are investing heavily to boost trip requests. We now have more than 150 million monthly consumers coming to our app looking for a ride or looking for Uber Eats as well. And each of these consumers are engaging with us more now than they ever have before. So as a result of this higher engagement, we're actually seeing the total driver earnings on the platform grow more quickly than the total spending on the platform by riders and eaters. So even though incentivize have normalized ever since the pandemic, earnings are actually higher than pre-pandemic levels. So just last quarter alone, to give you an idea, drivers and couriers all around the world earned in aggregate nearly $18 billion on the platform. Okay, not bad. And we're going to it's going to grow. Believe me, it's going to grow if I'm doing my job, if the team is doing their job. And last year, just here in DC, drivers and couriers earned over $1 billion. So not bad, and we're going to make sure that that grows as well. The strength of the Uber platform today is very much as a result of your hard work, your dedication, and of course the feedback that we get from you all around the year, but especially at events like this as well. And that feedback for us was actually invaluable in our launching upfront fares. And while drivers love the transparency of upfront fares, it also meant that the percentage of each trip going to the driver and Uber varied on a trip-by-trip basis. Now the fact is that even though the percentage varied on a trip-by-trip basis, the overall share that went to Uber has stayed roughly flat over that period of time, even as local taxes and fees have increased, and also while the cost of commercial auto insurance, unfortunately, has absolutely skyrocketed. But it's on us to explain all these numbers to you better. So in the coming weeks, we're launching a much clearer breakdown of customer fares right on the app. And as you'll see, you can see their driver pay, Uber, commercial auto insurance, government fees. What you're going to see is that you are taking home the biggest slice of the pie. But at the same time, we also understand that everything is more expensive nowadays, and we have teams on the ground all around the country who are working hard to make sure that to manage a rising cost of taxes and fees, as well as insurance, so that more of the fare ends up where it belongs, which is right in your pocket. Now, there's still a lot more to do, and I am hugely thankful for the chance to discuss the future with you here today. With that, I'm excited to introduce Sachin Kansal, who is my black sweater twin, Uber's Vice President of Product Management, who's going to dive into the details about what's upcoming. I'll be back to talk a little bit more. All right, Sachin.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Dara. My name is Sachin Kansal. I'm Vice President of Product Management, working on driver, courier, and safety products at Uber, which is just a fancy way to say that my team's responsibility is to make your driver app work safer, fairer, and easier. And today, we're going to talk a lot more about that. But it's not possible for me to figure this out sitting in my office. I have to get a real first-hand feel of how the app works in the real world. So I go out on the road as well. This is my driver profile, and I'm particularly proud of my rating so far. So fingers crossed I get to keep that. I've been driving and delivering for the last 7 years, and it is the best way for me to get a first-hand feel of what is it like to be in your shoes, and how does the app work in the real world, and what can we do to actually improve the app experience for you. But let's be clear. I may have done a few hundred trips, but some of you have done tens of thousands of trips. You are the real experts. So we are always asking you, please tell us what we can do better to improve the app. And we get a lot of feedback from you in one-on-one conversations, in group discussions like you can see here, as well as a lot of email that we get. And all the feedback from all those channels has gone into making the changes that we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. As Dara mentioned, our goal is to continue to increase the number of earning opportunities you have available in the Uber app. We offer the most options as compared to any other gig platform. And we are investing millions of dollars to bring more customers to our platform so we can generate more earnings for you. And these opportunities, they come in different shapes and sizes. Some of them are related to rides, some of them are related to deliveries, but you can access all of them through one central place in the app, which is the Work Hub. You can get to that from the account menu. I'm sure most of you have tried it. There are different kinds of opportunities available in the Work Hub. I'll give you a few examples. Since we are here in DC, we are surrounded by many military bases. And let's say if you wanted to do pickups at the Joint Base Andrews, you can go in the app. We'll tell you how you get the special permission, how you upload the form, and how you can then get approved to start doing those pickups at the military base. Or some of you may already be delivering food. But let's say now you want to deliver alcohol. These can be great trips with good tips. You can go in the app, and we can tell you how to do that. It turns out that in the state of Virginia, if you want to deliver alcohol, you have to go through a special training. Some of you may have gone through that. You can access that through the app. You can upload the form, and you can get approved to start delivering alcohol. And for customers who use Uber to rent a car through Hertz and Avis, you can sign up to deliver that car to them by getting approved as a rent valet. So many, many different kinds of opportunities. I want to share a new example with you, and very exciting, which is delivering pizzas. Now, we work with a lot of pizza delivery companies, and their ask is that their customers should get their pizza hot. Now, we can all understand that. So they want the couriers that deliver the pizzas to have an insulated pizza bag. Now, you can do that in the app. You can go to the Work Hub. You can go to Pizza in Insulated Bags. And you can send us a picture of a bag if you have one. Otherwise, we can direct you to a website where you can buy a bag at subsidized costs. Once you submit the photo, just like you submit any other document to Uber, we can very quickly take a look at it, and we can approve it. And once we approve it, you can start getting pizza orders. This is what an approval would look like. And now you can start getting those orders, and you'll see wherever a pizza bag is required, you'll see that at the bottom of the offer card. And we want all of you to be able to deliver these orders because they're growing by leaps and bounds, not just at homes, but also in offices. And I have this latest example to share with you which is from midnight last night when my team and I were preparing for this event, and we were eating pizzas. It was really good. So we want to make sure that you can deliver all these orders. We are delivering tens of millions of pizza orders every single year because we want to be the best platform for flexible work for all of you. Let's change gears from pizzas to something that is always top of mind for you, and hence is a big priority for us, which is to make your app safer. Over the last many years, we have spent countless hours making the app as safe as possible. And while there is always room for improvement, I'm very proud of what the team has shipped over the last few years. But with safety, our work really never stops. We have to keep improving. We have to keep going. And we have to improve safety end to end, all the way from the beginning of the trip till the end of the trip and beyond. Now, at the beginning of the trip, you get an offer. And in the offer card, you can now see the pickup location and the destination as well. And what drivers and couriers have told us is this gives them a lot of peace of mind knowing where they're going to go. And based on that, they can make a decision taking safety into account. You should always have all the information. Now, let's say you accept this trip, and now you're on your way to the pickup point. Drivers have told us that sometimes they would like the ability to be able to cancel the trip because of safety reasons. Now, you can cancel the trip. Let's say when you get to the pickup point and you don't feel safe, you can cancel it, and that does not affect the cancel rate that you see in the app. But what about when you're on the way? Let's say you don't feel safe. Let's say it's dark at night, and you may get a text message from the customer that makes you feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel safe. We are now going to give you the capability to cancel for safety reasons, irrespective of where on that trip you are. When it comes to safety, you should always have the choice, and this is not going to affect your cancel rate in the app or your eligibility for Uber Pro. So, well, let's say that you don't cancel the trip, you keep going, you get to the pickup point, and now you're looking for your rider. Maybe there are too many riders, and there are too many drivers, and we need to make sure that the right person gets in the right car. That's also very important for safety. And you may have seen sometimes a rider has a 4-digit PIN. You need to get that PIN. You have to enter the PIN to make sure that the right person gets in the right car. But today, that PIN is completely controlled by riders. They decide which trip they want the PIN on. And drivers have told us, hey, why not me? And in many, many surveys that we have run, overwhelming majority of drivers have told us that they would like, you would like the ability to select which trip you want a PIN on. So now we are introducing PIN verification for drivers. You should be able to go into the safety toolkit, and you can turn it on, and you can decide, do I want to verify all my trips in the future or just this particular trip? So you can just set it and forget it. Once you do that, the rider will have a PIN in their app. They need to give you that PIN. The PIN needs to match before you start the trip. So you can start the trip very confidently, knowing that you have the right person in the car. When you have the person in the car, there are many tools you already have available. For example, Follow My Ride, which I know many of you use so that a friend or a family member can follow your trip on a map. You can also call 911 in case of an emergency. Hopefully, that never happens. And then you also told us, hey, we would like to be able to capture what happens in the car. So last year, we introduced a way for you to be able to record audio. So you can capture audio in the car, and we do that in a very privacy-friendly way, and many of you have been using it. And then you asked, audio is great, but what about video? Many of you have installed dash cams in your car, which typically go in the front of the car. In addition to that, we also started testing in-app video recording, where you can actually record video using the Uber app, using the front-facing camera of your phone. We launched this in several places, and let me show you how it works. You go to the safety toolkit, and you turn on Record My Ride. You walk through a quick tutorial to understand how it works, but once you turn it on, you're good. Now, every single trip that you take will be recorded, not just for today, but for tomorrow and the day after and forever until you disable it. And when you are recording the trip, the rider sees this, that the driver is recording for added safety. And we have observed that that encourages better behavior from a rider. And that's great for everyone. And not just that, we also have a preview feature which will allow you to actually see the angle, and you can adjust the angle to make sure you're capturing what you need to capture. And let's say if something goes wrong on the trip, you can share that recording with us through a complaint or through a ticket that you can file, and we can take a look at it. We launched this in several places, and I have a very important milestone to share with you. Any guesses for how many trips we have recorded so far? We have recorded more than 100 million trips on video already. So that's a huge milestone. Drivers have really adopted, and they have appreciated the feature, but so far it has not been available everywhere. So today I'm also thrilled to announce that we are making in-app video recording available everywhere in the US, all 50 states, including right here in DC. So you're going to have it available in your app. So please check it out and be safe out there. OK, now it's great for you to feel safe when you're capturing what's happening in the car, when you have a stranger in the car. But you also need to feel safe using some of the technology that is already available in the car. So let's say if you have an iPhone, then, and if you have a supported car, you can use CarPlay, the big screen in your car. Or if you have an Android phone, you can use Android Auto. We launched this last year, and many drivers have been using it. I know many of you must already be using it. But for Tesla drivers, I'm sure there are some here in the audience. I'm one of them as well. They tell us, hey, what about this big screen I have in my car? When I'm using my Tesla for my Uber trips, I can use the Uber app. I can hit the navigate button. And sure, I can navigate in the Uber app. But then I have to hand type the address in the Tesla tablet if I want to use the big screen for navigation. That feels like such a waste. We are going to change that. Now, you can connect your Uber app to your Tesla account. And once you make that connection, anytime you accept a trip, next time you accept a trip and you hit navigate, we automatically send the route information to your Tesla tablet, and you can just hit the compass button, and you can use the big screen for navigating. I'm very excited about this, as I've been really waiting for this functionality myself. And when you connect your Uber app with your Tesla account, you can also permit for us to be able to see your battery level so that we don't send you trips. Let's say if you're at 20%, we won't send you this trip because we don't want to send you trips that you may not be able to complete, because there is nothing more unsafe than you being stranded somewhere with a car that is completely discharged with probably a really angry rider in the back seat. So we're really excited about launching this and enabling you to be able to use the Uber app on a large screen and feel safe. Now, there are many other ways to be safe, and I'm going to show you one of those right here. So I have my phone here, and that is connected to the monitor using this cable, so you can see everything that I'm doing. Now, let's say a typical day, I'm going out driving. I have my hands on my beautiful yellow steering wheel, let's say. And I want to find a good spot where I can go online. So I'm driving, and now I find a spot where I want to go online. Well, it's easy. I just take my hand off the steering wheel, and I hit the go button. Or what I can do is I can say, hey, Siri, go online with Uber. I can try once again. Hey, Siri, go online with Uber. Oh, maybe I'm not close enough. Hey, Siri, go online with Uber. Let's try something else. OK, fine. Third time is a charm. That's what happens when you try to do live demos. But it works. Now I'm online, and I want to check how much money I have made so far this week. So I can say, hey, Siri, show my Uber earnings this week. This time it works, and it shows me how much money I've made. I've made $165. Not a bad start, but I want to maximize my earnings on Uber. And I want to make sure, remember all those opportunities that I showed you in the work hub? I want to make sure all of them are turned on. So I say, hey Siri, show my Uber preferences. And it launches the preferences panel, and it shows that I'm currently turned on for Connect, Deliveries, Uber Green, Uber X, and Share. So every single opportunity that I have signed up for, I'm currently on, and I can maximize my earnings. And I can now go on my way. I can put my steering wheel down. And this is just a way to show you that there are other ways to interact with your app, in this case, just based on voice. And this is just the beginning. We're going to introduce many new things along these lines that we will share with you in the future. OK, so far, we have talked about how we want to be the best platform for flexible work for all of you and also make your app safer, all the way from the beginning of the trip till the end of the trip. But our responsibility doesn't end at the end of the trip. It needs to go beyond, because we need to make the Uber platform fairer for all drivers and couriers. And this is important because we want to make sure that you have a stronger voice. Let's say that you have an experience with a rider where the rider is rude. I'm sure, unfortunately, many of you have experienced that. And you may think in that situation, no one's going to give that rider any feedback. But that's not true. We will give them that feedback, because accountability on Uber is a two-way street. Let's say next time that happens, as you end the trip and you give them a rating, please mark, in addition to the rating, mark the disrespectful tag. Whenever you do that, we will send the rider a warning, and we will also send them tips from real drivers on how they should be behaving on the next trip. We will do that over email as well as in an in-app pop-up, as you can see here. So they know how they should be behaving on the next trip. Not just that, we will share information with many parties that couriers interact with, like restaurants and grocery stores and other retail locations, and educate them on what does it mean to be respectful to the courier. If you ever experience harassment or discrimination on the Uber platform, please let us know in the app so that we can take the appropriate action, including blocking Uber access from all of these entities if they violate our community guidelines. Respect on the Uber platform is for everyone, and it is not negotiable. Now, at the end of the trip, when you rate the rider, and let's say you give them 1 star, we will not match that rider with you ever again. And we've already been doing this. But the new thing that we are adding is if you give them 2 stars or 3 stars, still not that great, then we will show you a toggle at the bottom where you can choose if you want to block that rider. And if you block that rider, we will not pair them with you in the future. If you have a bad experience, you should be able to control your future experience. Now, let's say what happens if a rider reports on you, and it's a situation where you are not at fault. We want you to know that we have your back. This is why last year we announced a massive change to our deactivation processes. This included a system that allows us to detect if a rider is reaching out to us just to be able to get a refund or a credit. We want to make sure in those situations your rating is not affected and you do not get close to any deactivation decision. And for drivers who get accused of being under the influence of drugs, we also started a drug testing program that you can optionally use, and Uber pays the cost for it, irrespective of the outcome. And I'm pleased to announce that more than 600 drivers have been able to avoid deactivations by using this program. We also announced the Review Center, which is an in-app feature where you can file for a review, an additional review in the case of deactivation. You can provide us some additional information that we can look at. We understand that being able to not go online or your account being blocked is one of the most important decisions that we can take, and probably one of the most distressful moments for drivers and couriers, which is why we vowed to continue to get better. And an example of that is, why should we wait all the way till the deactivation decision. We want to get information from you all along the way. Let's say if a rider or an Uber Eats customer files a safety report against you, we want to let you know right away. And we want to let you know that this report was filed. If you have any information to share with us, please do that right now. And no, you're not close to any deactivation decision. And we want to get that information from you. You can provide us any information. You can provide us an audio file or a video. This is where video can actually be really beneficial. And we will take that into account. We want you to have the confidence that your voice will always be heard before any decision is taken that could lead to deactivation. And that is how we create a fairer platform. So we have talked about how do we make the app full of opportunities for you, safer, as well as fairer. But we also need to be easier and more delightful to use. And for that, I'm going to invite my colleague, Neeti Bashambu.
Thank you, Sachin. Hi, everyone. I'm Neeti Bashambu, and I'm directly responsible for our driver and courier app. I am so thrilled to be here today to announce some exciting updates that are coming your way. But first, a little bit about me. I've been at Uber for 3 years, and during this time, I've been focused on improving the app experience for drivers and couriers like you. Our goal, as Sachin mentioned, is to make Uber the best platform for flexible work. The only way we do this is by listening to you, whether it's talking to customers, talking to drivers when I'm taking a trip, doing surveys, focus groups, the Uber Crew program, and so much more. We listen to your feedback so we can build you a better experience. Like Sachin, I also drive and deliver, so I can walk in your shoes, and I do understand some of the problems and challenges you might face. This helps my team continue to improve the app. But ultimately, you all are the experts, and your feedback is critical, so please do keep it coming. With that in mind, we know that to be the best app for flexible work, every screen matters. So today, I'm thrilled to show you all an exclusive sneak peek of what the new driver and courier app is going to look like. I will be showing you some never-before-seen updates to the screens you use every day. So are you ready? Awesome, let's do it.
You may have noticed a few updates in the Uber driver app. We're making ongoing improvements to the things you do every day, like easier to find information and tools to keep you moving. Is it a good time for you to go online? Now, you can decide right when you open the app. A map preview on the home screen shows you where it's busiest. And you're one tap away from your favorite tools with new home screen buttons. Plan your time with relevant promotions and trends right on the home screen. Track your progress. After every session, you'll get a clear, concise summary that can help you next time. And understand your weekly earnings, from take-home pay to fees and tips, with easy-to-read graphics in your customer fare breakdown. Now accessible in the app. Track, plan, and go with the improved version of the Uber driver app.
I hope you like that. We are truly excited about this. This is just phase 1 of what will be a year-long effort to improve your experience. So you can expect to see even more exciting updates throughout the next year. But first, let's get into the details. We're improving the app to make the things you do every day easier. Now the information that you need will be just one click away in this new bottom navigation. You can easily access important areas of the app like earnings, inbox, and if you want to go to the menu, it's still right here for all the other areas of the app you might want to access. We also redesigned the Go Online button to make it much larger and easier to access right here on the home screen. Speaking of the home screen, you'll notice that we've made some other big improvements. Now you'll have more information to better guide you every time you start a session. Let me show you what that looks like in detail. Now, on the very top of the home screen, you can immediately see how demand is trending. So you can decide if it's a good time for you to drive or deliver right now. And to make it even easier to decide, you can just tap this new map widget to expand the heat map to see more real-time surge conditions or where earnings are expected to be higher. Like always, you can always pan and zoom around the map as well. So let's go back to the home screen. I'll tap on the new home button at the top. On the home screen, on the home screen, you'll see that earnings opportunities are more easily accessible than before. From reservation requests to promotions available to you, you'll now see opportunities to maximize your earnings right here on the home screen, so you can better plan your week and your day. Let's talk about earnings as well. On the Earnings tab, you will now see your earnings and balance as before, but we're also adding some important improvements. You'll now see a new section which will provide a clearer, personalized breakdown of your earnings, so you can see how much of the fare is going to you and how much is going to Uber. We will also show you how much went to any local government taxes and fees, as well as a growing portion that goes towards commercial auto insurance and operational expenses. Of course, as always, you'll see any tips you make, which always are 100% paid out to you. So let's look at some of the other areas of the app where we're giving a big facelift. We are taking personalization to the next level. Let's look at that in the redesigned Profile Hub. That's me. As I mentioned, I also drive and deliver. Here on the new Profile Hub, you can see key metrics like acceptance and cancellation rates. We know that you all care about your Uber Pro metrics. Yep, I'm just blue right now. And this section will show all of your status as well as any milestones, celebrations, any highlights, all in one place. So you can easily track your progress over time. So you're all probably thinking, okay, that's great, but what about when I go online and take a trip? I know that that is the most important area of the app that you care about. So are we ready to go online? All right, let's do it. All right, we all know that sound. Now that we're online, I'm excited to share with you the improvements we're making to trip requests. We're making trip requests more informative, easier to use, so when you're on the road. Let's see. Oh, there's that sound. Don't worry, this is not a real offer. We've made many updates to offer cards that you may have noticed over the last few months. We've added an accept button so you don't have accidental accepts as much. We've added a decline button that is more accessible. And we've also improved the route preview so you can see where you're going. We're now also adding route lines for any back-to-back or consecutive trips. So if you get another trip while you're still dropping off your current rider, you can now see where that next trip will take you on the map very, very easily, which we know is very important, especially since these trips come pretty fast and furious. And we know the couriers in the room will appreciate that earlier this year, we added a heavy tag for delivery requests that require a little bit of extra muscle. We also added a special tag for catering trips, so you can make sure you have the space in your car before you accept the offer. All right, let's move on to TripRadar. I know everyone in the room will appreciate that we've made several improvements to TripRadar, including adding a map for these requests and providing an easier swiping experience when you're stopped and not moving. We have also added a decline button so that you can easily decline any trips. And remember, when you decline a trip, you won't get that same offer again as an exclusive request. So we don't keep bothering you with the same offer that you've already declined on TripRadar. Thank you. And this fall, I wanted to show you that this fall, what we're doing is, if you notice, you can see the timer moving. You're going to be able to see how much time you have to accept the TripRadar request. And that'll be amazing because now you can take the time to read the details and don't feel rushed. So we're excited about these changes coming to TripRadar and hope you're too. All right, show of hands. How many of you use CarPlay and Android Auto? Anybody? Awesome, me too, I love it. If you watched our Only on Uber event last year, you know that that's when we showcased our CarPlay and Android Auto integrations. As Sachin mentioned earlier, if you do have a CarPlay and Android Auto enabled vehicle, you can go online, accept and reject trips, and most importantly, get turn-by-turn directions for safer driving, all from the car's larger dashboard display. We've seen a great response from drivers, and actually riders love them too because they can see where they're going right here on the larger screen on the dashboard. One request though that we did hear from our CarPlay and Android Auto users was that they still needed to look at their phone if they got trip radar offers. So we're happy to share that soon we will be launching Trip Radar on CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Thank you. We're very excited. This means that you will be able to see and interact with both exclusive and Trip Radar requests all from your car screen. So you can continue to drive more comfortably and safely and never miss a trip request. We want to make sure you don't miss a trip request on your phone either. Maybe you're texting your family or you're checking the news. Soon, we will alert you with all of the details of any incoming requests when you're online with the driver app open in the background, so you don't miss out on any trip requests. This has been live on Android for a while, but we are now excited to bring this to Apple iPhone users in 2024. Yay! This is one of my favorite features. I love this one. It's using the live activities features of iPhone, and I think it's a great way to make sure you don't miss out on any trip requests. Now that I've shown you all of these great improvements, and I'm glad to see that you're so excited about them, let's go offline. Let's see, okay, there's that sound, we all know that one. So you've turned your phone off, you've gone offline for the day. Here's another cool feature that a lot of drivers have asked us for, an end of session summary. Now when you go offline, we will provide you a summary of your driving session. So you can see how much you earned, how many trips you took, and any important insights we can give you so you can improve your session for next time. You can improve your earnings and your experience. Thank you. We're very excited. My team and I have worked so hard to bring these changes to life, and it's so heartwarming for me to see your reactions and appreciation. Thank you. These improvements are just the very first step we're taking in redesigning the Uber driver app. And we're so thrilled to let you all know that all of you will have early access to many of these updates. You will get an email for post the event, and you can sign up and opt in to help us test the app. And please do give us feedback, because that's the only way we can improve. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being here. I'll hand it back to Sachin.
Thanks a lot, Neeti. These are very exciting updates to an app that you use every single day. You get the homepage with the tabs, the map view, you get the better offer card. All of these things are getting better. It's also very important for your app to seamlessly connect with the outside world. It's important for maps and navigation to be able to match the outside world because you are in that outside world. Now, this is an area where we are adding a lot of things. I'm sure many of you have run into this experience where you get an offer, the trip is about 36 minutes long, and then you're on your way, and now it's about 26 minutes left, and that's when you see that it's 26 minutes, and that's when rush hour hits. And what was 26 minutes can now turn into 35 minutes, and you are stuck in traffic for much longer than you anticipated. All of us have been through that. All of you get affected by that as well. Well, we do take current traffic situation into account when you give you the offer. But traffic changes over time. So now moving forward, in addition to the current traffic, we are also going to use future predicted traffic. What's likely to happen in 15 minutes? What's likely to happen in 30 minutes? And we use historical patterns that we have seen in the past for this area and for this time of day to predict what the traffic may be like. So on the left side, you can see what may happen with just current traffic. And on the right side, you could see what if also we factor in future traffic. In this case, the ETA may go up from 36 minutes to 43 minutes because traffic is actually likely to build up. But it could also go down because traffic is likely to subside. Our goal is for you to have the best possible information so you can make a decision for how you want to spend your time on the road. Now, on the road, things are constantly changing. There are accidents, there are closures, there's traffic jams, and no one can keep track of it. We don't know all of that information. But all of you are out there, and you are in the middle of it, and you have asked to be able to provide that feedback so you can help the entire community of drivers. So earlier this year, we introduced a way for you to be able to tell us if there's a temporary closure or if there's a turn that is not allowed. So that's a good start, and many of you have used that. But there are so many more pieces of information that you can share. So now we are adding to that by also asking you to tell us about traffic jams as well as accidents. So the way this works, if you have not used it before, you go to the bottom right corner of the app. When you tap on that, you see all these things that you can report. And let's say in this case, you're reporting a traffic jam. When you do that, we will ask other drivers in that area as well if they are seeing something similar, and we will ask them to confirm. And if they confirm, then immediately our system will propagate that throughout for every driver and courier to be able to know that. And if there's a better route that we find so that you can go around that traffic jam, we will give you that option. In this case, the driver is saving 2 minutes. So we want to make sure that the community is able to benefit from this information that all of you are actually able to send to us. And we'll also show you your contributions. How many reports did you send? How many confirmations did you provide us? And very importantly, at the top left, how many drivers were you able to help as a result of that? Because that is the whole point of this feature. We talk a lot about drivers and couriers who are driving in their car. But what about couriers who are on their bike? Show of hands, people who are riding on their bikes as couriers. Anyone here? I see a few hands. There you go. If you are a bike courier, Dara is a bike courier as well. Well, one of the problems with that is when you hit the navigate button in the Uber app, we actually send you to a different app. Let's show this again. And you hit navigate. We will send you to a different app, and then you have to keep going back and forth between the two apps, which is very inconvenient, and it can also be unsafe. And if there's any important piece of information from the Uber app, like let's say you get a new offer, or your Eats customer actually sent you a message, you may miss that. So now we are going to introduce in-app bike navigation. So when you navigate, you don't have to leave the Uber app. You'll get turn-by-turn instructions right there in the Uber app, as you can see. So you won't miss any of those important messages. And we will also guide you to bike lanes that will keep you safe on the road. We will be introducing this in the next few weeks, so please stay tuned for that. Now, there you go. Yeah, please let us know how it goes. Whether you are on a bike or you are in a car, the moment you get to drop off, things are never easy. And that's because when you are looking at a map, it doesn't really orient you to the real world. You don't get actual visual indicators that you can anchor on. And this is why we are introducing the Map Layers button, which you can see on the top right. When you tap on that, now you will be able to get a satellite view. And as we all know, a satellite view tells us what the view is from above. And this helps you actually get a real perspective. You can see the shape of the buildings, you can see the color, and you can connect that to what you see in the real world. You can see that there are cars parked there, and you can feel confident that you'll actually be able to park your car at that location. It just makes drop-offs much easier. But there are some drop-off locations that are just impossible. Even maps can't capture them. And we get a lot of feedback from you on these. These could be high-rises, these could be multi-unit complexes, these could be apartment complexes. And we have shipped many things over the last few years to make this better, but we still need to do more. And what we realized is the person who has the best information about this is actually the customer. They live there or they work there. So now we're going to ask them. So in the Uber Eats app, when the customer is placing an order and they go to specify a location, they can actually give us a lot more information. They can drop a pin at the actual drop-off at the actual unit. They can drop a pin at the entrance. Entrances can be really hard. And they can also drop a pin on where you could actually park. And once we have all of this rich information, we can share that with you in the driver app, in the courier app. We can guide you right to the parking spot. You can park there. And then we can give you walking guidance from there all the way to the entrance. And entrances in these situations, is it on this block or that block, can be really hard to figure out. And this will make it easy for you. And on the red pin, you can already see what the actual apartment number is. We want to make drop-offs easier for you. And we need to make maps and navigation easy so your pickups and drop-offs are never a burden. Every single second that we can help you save and every single point of stress that we can help you remove adds up and makes a difference. Each of these features may be small, but when you go through these experiences over and over again, they can add up to make your end-to-end experience much better and safer and fairer and easier. I want to take the opportunity to thank all the teams at Uber who have been working night and day to bring all of these things to life. So let's give them a big round of applause. But the real heroes are you. And to celebrate you, I'm going to invite my colleague, Camille Irving.
Thank you so much, Sachin. And congratulations to Sachin, Niti, and the entire team for this outstanding basket of features that we were able to bring to drivers this round. My name is Camille Irving. I'm a Washingtonian. And I am the general manager for Uber Rides here in the US and Canada. Like Sachin and Niti, I've spent time behind the wheel. Actually, before I worked at Uber, I was a driver. So I know that driving and delivering is tough. I understand the effort you put in, but we would not be where we are today without your dedication. The work you do is not easy, but it's essential for the modern life that we live, and because of that, it deserves to be honored. So today, I have the absolute privilege of celebrating 5 truly exceptional individuals from here in the DC area who have set a new standard within our Uber community. Let's give out some awards. First, as we all know, Uber Eats partners with many of DC's top restaurants. But Courier's dedication doesn't just stop at supporting local restaurants. Sometimes they nourish our city's soul, one delivery at a time. There's one courier here today who has delivered more meals than anyone else in the DC area. He's been with Uber for nearly 8 years and has done an astounding 53,000 deliveries. Let's welcome our Uber Eats delivery superstar, Peter Boateng. Come on up, Peter. Congratulations. Our next award winner was one of the first drivers on the platform in the DC area, and with nearly 13 years of experience and over 33,000 trips, this driver has more experience than anyone else in the city. But when he's not driving, he's spending time with his wife and 3 children. Our first driver award goes to Naveed Aslam. Let's give him a big round of applause. Our next award winner is actually quite famous around DC and may not need much of an introduction for me. You've likely seen him biking around, doing deliveries, and posting about his experiences. But he's the perfect example of using your power for good. He leveraged his more than 1 million person social media following to help a fellow courier. Because of him, that courier who was injured was able to get help in his moment of need. So let's welcome a local celebrity, our DC hero, Joshua Calavaro. Congratulations. Thank you.
Oh, man. I'll do that. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
We're super proud to know that Uber is often a stepping stone to other goals. We have a long-standing relationship with Arizona State University online to pay 100% of tuition for eligible drivers. That way, drivers, couriers, and their families can get access to a college degree without finances being a barrier. We're super lucky to have one of those graduates right here with us today. He has earned a degree in organizational leadership and project management from ASU, and we are so proud of him. Welcome our ASU graduate, Tilahun Simu. Congratulations. And finally, this driver is truly a perfectionist. Not only does he declare himself a driver, he also prides himself on offering a listening ear for many of his riders. With his patience and care, he has turned people's moods around, encouraged them to make better life decisions. And it's no wonder that he has the most 5-star ratings in the DC area. Congratulations to our 5-star driver, Titus Mbe. Come on up.
And look right over this way, sir. Yes, very good. Thank you.
It is truly an honor being here from the DC area that I get to be in community with this incredible group of drivers and couriers. Let's give a round of applause to all of our award winners one more time. Thank you so much for the heart and soul that you bring to our every Uber journey. Back to you, Dara.
All right. Thank you, Camille. And congratulations to all the award winners. It's unbelievable to see the impact that you have on your communities. It's really cool to talk about the features that we're introducing up here, but it's way more cool to celebrate you because you're the heart of Uber. So it's great. So I do want to finish off by talking a little bit more about safety, which is a topic that Sachin had brought up earlier. This is an area that we have spent more time, energy, and money investing in, I think, than anyone else in our industry. But we're never going to stop raising the bar because we can raise the bar not just for Uber, but essentially all of the transportation industry. It's something that is close to our heart, and it's something that we take a lot of pride in. And if there's one thing that we know matters to you a lot, and in hindsight, it's pretty obvious, you want to know more about whom you're picking up. Over the years, we've made a ton of improvements to the app here, like freezing accounts that have fake or inappropriate names until they're changed, or sometimes they're validated with our support team. And to date, for example, we have banned over 15,000 rider accounts with fake and or inappropriate names. We've also started requiring IDs For riders who sign up using an anonymous form of payment, this could be like a Venmo or someone who got an Uber gift card who's using Uber for the first time, we force them to give us an ID so we know exactly who they are. But now we're taking rider identification a step further. We're very, very excited to share that starting tomorrow, we are rolling out new rider verification measures all over the country, nationwide. So these are just designed to help confirm that riders are who they say they are. So here's a little bit about how it works. So the first thing that we do is we cross-reference the rider account details, this might be their name and phone numbers, against trusted third-party databases to make sure that the two match, okay? Most riders, the majority of riders, are going to get verified this way. But some of those riders won't be able to be verified using that methodology. So for those who don't, they can actually choose to upload government-issued identification. This could be a driver's license, or it could be a passport or some other official documentation. Many of you are quite familiar with this methodology. And once we're able to verify that information, they will get a verified badge on their account that drivers like you are going to see before you decide whether or not you're going to accept that ride or whether you're going to reject the trip. So you can see here, this is the verified, but you can see here on the screen what it will look like in your app starting tomorrow. So you should be able to see the little verified badge down there. All of the key details that you're already familiar with are still there, but you're going to see that verified badge letting you know that that rider has gone through these additional steps to make sure we know who they are. Now, some riders may still choose to use a nickname for whatever reason if they want to protect their privacy, but know that when you see the verified badge, they will have gone through this process. They will be safe, so to speak. We have been testing this feature in a handful of cities across the US. And in these early pilot markets, drivers and riders, or drivers and verified riders have given each other higher ratings, which is kind of cool. And verified riders tip more often and get less serious complaints from drivers, which is double cool. As we expand this program across the country, I would expect to see similar results, including right here in DC. Very, very excited about this feature. So as you can see by this rider verification program, as you can see by a lot more of what we've introduced, Record My Ride, the new features that we have to improve rider behavior, we're listening to you and investing when it comes to safety. We hope to send you a very, very clear message that we believe in your safety, and we want to send a clear message to anyone looking to do harm that the Uber platform is not the place to do so. We're very excited now to hear about what you think of these new features as they roll out, and we're very much looking forward to your feedback because we may not be perfect the first time out. In the end, these features have to work for you. As we continue to innovate and improve the Uber driver app, our North Star is always to provide you with the peace of mind that allows you to focus on what matters most, which is ultimately a great experience for your riders and customers, as well as for you as well. Every step of your journey should be safe, fair, and easy, and we're going to keep working incredibly hard to achieve these goals to make Uber the very best platform in the world for flexible work. So thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for being a part of Uber, and have a great day, everyone. Thanks.